Tell me your name and a short description of your startup. My name is Vedrana. I'm the CEO of Boost Thyroid. I have background in academic research and in digital health. And my goal as a human being is for all of us to be at least healthy enough to be happy, functional, and fulfilled in our lives. As a researcher, I saw inequality of information distribution, which led to poor health decisions. And as a patient, I also have seen a big divide between doctors on one side and then patients on the other side, as it seems like we are not speaking the same language. And this was the reason why I decided to build Boost Thyroid and try to fix our broken healthcare system and also our broken approach to collaboration between different stakeholders in health. And so Boost Thyroid is a health tech startup solving problems for an autoimmune segment of health, and we do that currently by providing tailored information, facilitated conversation with medical health practitioners. And in the background, we are doing a lot of science, biological science, computer science, data science, and then mathematics on top of that to better understand and cater to individual patients' needs today and then as they live every day with their condition. Second question. Whom have you associated as a mentor? So at different stages of my career, I had different mentors, and mentoring is quite dependent on the work and the life context one is currently in. And when I look for mentors, I'm always asking myself a couple of questions. So what would I like to get from my mentor? What are my current challenges? And then how will these challenges evolve through time? Can my mentor and myself grow these relationships as my challenges change? Then I also ask myself how experienced is or how experienced is my mentor, or should my mentor be? Because I need, for example, someone that understands the market I operate in, the business I'm trying to run. And early on in startup, this things seems to be very blurred, but soon, they might become very important, and it's very important to know which qualities your mentor can bring to this equation. Then I ask myself also, what's the personality of my mentor? How open are they? How open are they about their failures? Because we all know that it's very important to learn from failures. Some of the great, some people that were really successful with their startup will try to copy their success models on every other startup. So it's also very important to know, yes, this can help, but also they need to be open to modifying their model of success. And then, the last thing, when I'm looking for mentor, I try not to give up, because I know that the awesomest mentors are usually very busy. And I need to be prepared to wow them, whether that's by my personality, my drive, my idea. I need to have something to entice them. And at this point, I have really a lot of mentors, and I have engaged with a lot of mentors, but I would like to mention my mentor, Adam, specifically, out of pool of all these great mentors I have. Adam has both tech and entrepreneurial background. He did a very successful startup in the US before moving here to Europe. And his two best qualities are his candidness and his love for dogs. So next question. How did that relationship come to be? So I was lucky with Adam because Adam worked on a project where I was able to help him. So then I decided to cash my points with him very soon after that. We also live in the same city, we live close by, and it was easy to start meeting in a local park. I had a dog, Adam loves dogs, so we walked the dog, and then we talked about startup life. And this mentoring with Adam started very early on. It started actually before I started my startup. So I was considering to start a company, and he provided me with that extra grain of courage to jump into entrepreneurial and startup life. how you uphold that relationship. That's the next question. So in early stages of every mentoring relationship, I need more time for getting to know my mentor and for my mentor to get to know me. And then we test the boundaries, explore how can I also be reciprocating my mentor. And since it's a commitment of time, from both sides. With good mentors, it's always a win, but sometimes you need to be prepared also to kind of like waste maybe a little bit of your time and other person's time if it's not going to work. I'm always trying to be considerate of time and commitment by my mentors. They are busy, so am I. And currently, I'm also creating a backlog of stuff, so I'm not contacting mentors immediately when something happens, because now it's usually not something that can destroy me or the company immediately. So I create a backlog, and then I contact them when I feel like now it's a good critical mass of things, problems, challenges that I would like to talk about. How often do you meet, or how does a mentoring session usually look like? Brackets, for instance, is it a meeting, phone call, email, or a combination of both? That's the question. It really depends how often we meet. I have never made a designated block of time once a week or once a month. I have had that only one when I was in Fast Track Malmo, then we had mentoring sessions once a week, but usually I don't have that. As I said, mentoring is a commitment of time, and I really appreciate my mentors taking actually time out of their busy, hectic schedule to be there for me and my struggles, and then to listen and be constructive about problems that I'm experiencing. So when I experienced the first tough struggles, problems with fundraising, problems with like how to form my idea and pitch it, like internal struggles in the company. I met with Adam every few weeks or even more, and then like we discussed all of that, and then it was really more about like onboarding him and me onto each other and onto like entrepreneurial life. And now at this stage, Adam more tells me, keep me updated. I'm curious about this or that, and that means that I'm also in a more mature stage of my development in relationship to him. So I learned to let my mentors breathe most of the time. And if I'm thinking about meetings, what type of meetings I prefer, I always prefer face-to-face meetings. So even if it's for a very short period of time, I found that brisk walk and talk is helping me keep the energy high up, and that's kind of like good, because then I come up also with good ideas and solutions. But sometimes Skype, Slack, or whatever else is the only option, so then I take that as well. Next question. Is it a one-way relationship according to you, or does it go two ways? So I strongly believe that mentorship goes two ways, both ways. Sometimes you can reciprocate it directly, sometimes you pay it forward. And the important thing with mentoring for me is that I don't become a selfish entrepreneur and keep all the information for myself, while not helping all the newer entrepreneurs struggling with the same issues I did. Being able to spread all the great learnings from both myself and my path, but also an awesome wisdom of my mentors, is a reward in itself, like possibility to share that and to push that forward. And the last question, any other thoughts on mentorship? So I think that mentorship is actually a move of an ultimate altruism, but by people that miss one of the main commodities in life, and that's commodity of time. It's the process of giving back to ecosystem that actually made you and helped you to succeed. And as with anything else that involves human beings, it really depends on the personalities, sincerity, and grit of both parties involved in this mentorship. And if this matches, then mentorship will or may and will grow in a great relationship. For me personally, mentorship has a strong emotional note, because entrepreneurship is like a fragile little business. We put our dreams and emotions and hopes like in this thing, and it's important for me that my mentor knows me personally and that I know their personality as well, and that both feel very comfortable in this relationship and really want to grow it. Even when the challenges change, like there is this one pillar of trust that remains in that relationship. And then last thoughts is to kind of I always try to find and engage with people that are mentoring for right and good reasons. I use my community as like a really great vetting ground for mentors. I personally try to avoid or at least minimize exposure to people that use word mentorship and offer mentorship as a pretense of trying to sell their services. So someone that is trying immediately to pitch their services instead of listening to me is usually a big no sign for me. My mentors, like I discovered that when I'm reflecting now, that my mentors actually listen a lot, meaning that I get to talk a lot. And none of my mentors, and they're crazy successful people, none of my mentors have bragged about their success. They would rather talk about their struggle, their trials, their errors, and what ultimately worked for them. But they never tried to wrap it in this beautiful success story from the beginning, and that's very important. They also never come up with finished solution for me. And lastly, they are quite humble. They are not shy to admit their limitations and things that they don't know. So this is what I find really great in my current mentors, and what I'm looking forward also with my future mentors.